Welcome back to the channel, Pocket Change Coins, where we uncover the fascinating stories behind rare and valuable coins from around the world. Today, we have an exciting treasure to explore, the 1980 Roosevelt silver 1-dime coin with the mint mark. You may be wondering, what makes this coin so special? Well, you're in for a real treat, because not only does this coin hold historical significance, but it's also worth a small fortune. Stick with us as we take a closer look at its history, design, and why this dime could be worth much more than its face value. Let's start by diving into the history of this iconic coin. The Roosevelt dime was first minted in 1946, just after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was the 32nd President of the United States. It was created to honor his legacy, particularly his efforts in establishing the March of Dimes, a foundation dedicated to fighting polio. Since then, the Roosevelt dime has been a beloved part of American coinage, with its familiar profile of Roosevelt on the obverse side. The 1980 issue, however, is special for a few key reasons. By this time, the U.S. had transitioned from using silver in many of its coins to a more affordable copper-nickel mix due to rising silver prices. However, there were still some coins in circulation that contained a small percentage of silver, like the 1980 Roosevelt dime. This makes it a rare find in terms of its material composition, especially considering how much silver coins have appreciated in value over the years. The design of the 1980 Roosevelt silver dime itself is simple but powerful. On the front, you'll find the portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by famed engraver John R. Sinnock. The image captures Roosevelt in a moment of strength and determination, symbolizing his leadership during one of the most turbulent times in American history. The reverse side of the coin features a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. But here's the kicker: while the coin was produced in large quantities, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in its value today. Most 1980 dimes were circulated for years, meaning they've been exposed to wear and tear, losing some of their original luster and detail. The ones that have been carefully preserved, however, stand out in the world of collectors. Finding a 1980 Roosevelt silver dime in excellent, uncirculated condition is rare, and it's that rarity that drives the value of this coin up. Collectors aren't just looking for any old coin, they're searching for coins that have remained in pristine shape, free from scratches, dents, or discoloration. And that's where the value skyrockets. An uncirculated 1980 Roosevelt silver dime could be worth significantly more than its face value. But what about the ones with a mint mark? That's right, the mint mark on these coins can be a huge factor in determining their worth. If your 1980 Roosevelt dime has a D mint mark, it means it was minted in Denver, while a S mint mark indicates it came from San Francisco. Coins with certain mint marks, particularly those from smaller mints, tend to be more valuable due to their limited mintage. If you happen to have one of these, it could mean big bucks for your collection. Let's talk about the silver content for a moment. The 1980 Roosevelt dime, like its predecessors, contains a small percentage of silver, about 90% to be exact. While this isn't a high silver content compared to some older coins, the silver market plays a huge role in the valuation of these dimes. When silver prices rise, the intrinsic value of coins like the 1980 Roosevelt dime also increases, adding another layer of value to the coin. Now, you might be wondering, how much is this 1980 Roosevelt silver dime really worth? Here's where things get really exciting. If you have a 1980 Roosevelt silver dime in exceptional condition, especially one that's been well preserved and remains uncirculated, it could be worth as much as $44,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single dime, with the right mint mark and in pristine condition, could fetch a staggering $44,000 in today's market. So, what does this mean for you? If you have a collection of coins or happen to stumble upon one of these rare dimes, make sure to check its condition. A well-preserved 1980 Roosevelt silver dime could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And if you're a coin collector, don't overlook this gem. Its history, design, and silver content make it a true treasure. Today, we're taking a close look at a gem from the modern era of U.S. coinage, the 2006 Roosevelt silver 1-dime coin with a mint mark. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's just a dime, right? Well, it's not just a dime. In fact, this coin could be worth a lot more than you might expect. Stick around until the end to discover exactly how much this particular dime could be worth today. The Roosevelt dime has been a cornerstone of American coinage since it was first introduced in 1946, right after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. His portrait, designed by John R. Sinek, has adorned the coin ever since. The Roosevelt dime was created to honor his legacy, particularly his role in founding the March of Dimes, an organization that helped combat polio. What started as a simple tribute has grown into one of the most iconic and widely recognized coins in the U.S. Today, we're focusing on a 2006 issue, a relatively modern coin that's turning out to be quite the hidden treasure for collectors. Now, when you think of dimes, the first thing that might come to mind is their small size and relatively low face value. But there's a lot more going on with this coin than meets the eye. In 2006, the Roosevelt dime was still made with 90% silver, which gives it an added layer of appeal for collectors. Silver has always had intrinsic value, and its price on the open market fluctuates, influencing the value of silver coins like this one. With rising silver prices over the years, the value of older silver coins has increased significantly, and the 2006 Roosevelt silver dime is no exception. One of the key things that make the 2006 coin stand out is the mint mark. Coins minted at different U.S. mint facilities bear unique mint marks, which can have a major impact on their value. If your 2006 Roosevelt dime has an D mint mark, that means it was minted in Denver. If it's marked with an S, it was struck in San Francisco. And then, of course, there's the P mint mark for Philadelphia. Mint marks tell a story about where the coin was produced, and coins from certain mints can be rarer than others, increasing their desirability and worth. Now, let's talk about condition. If you're looking to maximize the value of your 2006 Roosevelt silver dime, the condition is absolutely critical. Coins that have been in circulation for years often show signs of wear and tear, like scratches, dings, or fading. But coins that are well preserved, with no noticeable damage, are much more valuable to collectors. If you've managed to find a 2006 Roosevelt silver dime that's still in mint condition, you've stumbled upon something special. So, how do we know that the 2006 Roosevelt silver 1-dime is worth so much? Well, collectors and investors have been paying close attention to the rare coins in the market, and the 2006 dimes in pristine condition are a standout example. This is particularly true for those coins that have been well preserved or have certain unique features that set them apart from the rest. For example, some coins might have minor minting errors or slight design variations, making them even more valuable. If you happen to have one of these rare variants, your coin could be worth significantly more. Now, we're getting to the exciting part. How much is this dime really worth? You might think that a modern coin like this wouldn't fetch a high price, but you'd be wrong. A well-preserved 2006 Roosevelt silver 1-dime, especially one with a unique mint mark or even a rare error, could be worth as much as $45,000. Yes, you heard me right, $45,000 for a single dime. Isn't that incredible? A coin that's often overlooked by many collectors can, in the right condition, be worth a small fortune. If you've got one of these dimes tucked away in your collection or happen to find one in your change, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. You never know, you could be holding onto a true treasure. So, what can we take away from all of this? Well, first and foremost, it's clear that not all coins are created equal. A modern coin like the 2006 Roosevelt silver 1-dime, with its silver content and unique mint mark, can be worth far more than you'd expect, especially if it's in pristine, uncirculated condition. The next time you come across a 2006 Roosevelt dime, make sure to check its condition, mint mark, and any potential errors. It could be your ticket to a rare find that's worth thousands of dollars. Today's video is just for you. We're diving into the world of the 1967 Roosevelt silver 1-dime coin, and trust me, you won't want to miss out on this one. This seemingly ordinary dime could hold a secret fortune that's worth way more than you might imagine. So grab your magnifying glass and let's take a closer look at this hidden gem that might be sitting right under your nose. Now, the Roosevelt dime has been a staple in U.S. coinage since 1946. It was designed to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, following his passing. He was the founder of the March of Dimes, an organization aimed at eradicating polio, and that's what the coin is meant to commemorate. Roosevelt's portrait, designed by the talented John R. Sinek, has graced the front of the dime for decades, making it instantly recognizable. But today, we're talking about the 1967 version of the Roosevelt silver dime, a coin that might not immediately grab your attention at first glance, but could be hiding a significant value behind its small size. Why is this coin special, you ask? Well, in 1967, the United States was still minting dimes with a 90% silver content, which makes them a lot more valuable than their modern counterparts. This was before the Coinage Act of 1965, which transitioned many of the U.S. coins, including dimes, to a copper-nickel blend. So, a 1967 Roosevelt silver dime is a coin made primarily of silver, which means it holds intrinsic value that goes far beyond its face value of just 10 cents. Now, let's talk about the design of the 1967 Roosevelt dime. On the front, you'll find the profile of President Roosevelt, looking determined and confident. He's surrounded by the words, "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," along with the year of minting, 1967. The reverse side features an image of a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. These symbols have long been associated with the values that America holds dear, making the coin not just valuable in terms of precious metal, but also historically significant. But what really sets the 1967 Roosevelt silver dime apart from others is its rarity and condition. While millions of these coins were produced, many of them have been circulated extensively over the years. That means most of them have been worn down or damaged, with little to no remaining shine. However, the real treasure lies in the uncirculated coins, the ones that were carefully preserved and kept out of circulation. These pristine examples are far rarer, and as you can imagine, they attract serious interest from collectors. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. Coins produced at different U.S. mints are stamped with unique mint marks to identify where they were made. For the 1967 Roosevelt dime, there are a few possibilities. If your coin has a D mint mark, it means it was minted in Denver. If it's stamped with an S, it came from San Francisco, and a P mint mark means it was struck in Philadelphia. But here's the thing, while the mint mark can tell you where the coin was produced, the condition and rarity of the coin play a much bigger role in determining its value. You may be thinking, how much is this coin really worth? Well, let me tell you, it's worth far more than you'd expect. While silver prices fluctuate over time, the 1967 Roosevelt silver dime in uncirculated condition could fetch a whopping $47,000. Yes, you heard that right, $47,000 for a single dime. This amount might seem unbelievable, but it's a reality in the world of coin collecting, especially when it comes to coins that are made of silver and are in pristine condition. So, how do you know if your 1967 Roosevelt dime is worth that much? The first step is to check the condition of the coin. If it's been well preserved, with no scratches, discoloration, or other signs of heavy wear, you could be holding onto something truly special. It's also important to consider whether your coin has any unique features, such as minting errors or slight design variations, which can further increase its value. And don't forget to check the mint mark. It could tell you a lot about the coin's rarity and desirability. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, how many of these coins are out there? And can I still find one? The truth is, there are still some 1967 Roosevelt silver dimes in circulation, but the ones in great condition are becoming harder and harder to find. If you've got a collection of coins, it's worth taking the time to sort through them and look for this particular dime. And if you happen to come across one in mint condition, you could be sitting on a small fortune. In the world of coin collecting, timing is everything. As silver prices rise and more collectors get into the hobby, coins like the 1967 Roosevelt silver 1 dime become even more sought after. Their historical significance, combined with their silver content and rarity, make them a prized possession for collectors around the world. So, to sum up, the 1967 Roosevelt silver dime isn't just any ordinary coin. It's a valuable piece of U.S. history, made of precious metal, and in the right condition, it could be worth a staggering $47,000. If you happen to find one, or if you already have one tucked away in your collection, it could be time to take a closer look. It might just be your ticket to a rare and valuable treasure. Today, in this video, we're diving into the world of one of the most recent additions to the iconic Roosevelt dime series, the 2018 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime coin. While this might seem like a relatively modern coin, it's actually got some interesting details and characteristics that make it a serious contender for your coin collection. So stick with me, because we're going to explore why this dime might be worth a lot more than you think. You definitely won't want to miss the grand reveal at the end. First, let's set the stage with a little history. The Roosevelt dime series began in 1946 to honor the life and legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt led the country through the Great Depression and World War II, and his lasting impact led to the creation of the March of Dimes, an organization that worked to combat polio. The coin was designed by artist John R. Sinek, who captured Roosevelt's likeness on the obverse front of the coin. And it's been a fixture in U.S. currency ever since. Now, we're talking about the 2018 edition of the Roosevelt Silver 1 dime coin. At first glance, it might seem like just another standard dime. After all, it's a small coin with the familiar portrait of Roosevelt and the recognizable torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. But what makes the 2018 edition stand out is that it's made of 90% silver, just like the dimes of old. It's part of the series that carries a rich tradition, but what gives this particular coin its value is not only the silver content but also the rarity and the condition in which it's found. Here's something interesting about this dime. While the 2018 Roosevelt silver dime is part of a mass production, many of these coins have been used in everyday transactions, which means they're not necessarily in mint condition. Coins that have been circulated often show wear and tear, including scratches, discoloration, and fading. But here's where the magic happens. Coins that are kept in excellent condition, preferably uncirculated, are highly sought after by collectors and can fetch a much higher price than coins that have been tossed around in pocket change. So, what makes the 2018 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime even more interesting is the mint mark. If you know a bit about coin collecting, you know that mint marks are critical to determining the value of a coin. Mint marks identify where the coin was produced, and they can have a significant impact on the coin's rarity. For example, D mint mark means the coin was minted in Denver, an S indicates San Francisco, and a P mint mark points to Philadelphia. The 2018 Roosevelt dime, like many coins in circulation, could be found with any of these mint marks, but the rarer the mint mark and the fewer the mintage, the more valuable the coin becomes. That's right, some mint marks can make a coin significantly rarer than others, and when a coin is rare, its value naturally increases. So, if you have a 2018 Roosevelt dime with a certain mint mark that was produced in lower numbers, your coin could potentially be worth a lot more than you might expect. Let's talk about the silver content for a moment. While silver's intrinsic value fluctuates based on the market, the fact that this dime contains 90% silver gives it a significant edge over its copper-nickel counterparts. The rising silver prices over the years have made these silver dimes even more appealing to collectors and investors. In addition to the silver itself, collectors also value the historical and symbolic significance of the Roosevelt dime, which makes it a highly desirable coin among numismatists. But here's where things get really exciting. If you've been paying attention, you know that rare coins, especially those in excellent condition or with unique features, can skyrocket in value. And the 2018 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime is no exception. If you happen to have an uncirculated version of this coin, or even better, one with a rare mint mark or a slight design variation, the potential for this coin to reach a significant value is quite real. And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, how much is this coin worth? The 2018 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime, in pristine condition, could be valued at an impressive $49,000. Yes, you heard me right, $49,000 for a single dime. It may seem surprising, but in the world of rare coins, condition, rarity, and demand can make a coin's value jump dramatically. So, what does this mean for you? If you're a coin collector or even just someone who's recently stumbled upon a 2018 Roosevelt silver dime, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Don't just toss it aside as just another dime. This coin has the potential to be a rare treasure. Whether you're an experienced collector or a newcomer, the 2018 Roosevelt silver dime offers a unique opportunity to find something truly valuable. In conclusion, the 2018 Roosevelt silver 1 dime is more than just a small piece of currency. It's a coin with historical significance, precious metal content, and a level of rarity that could make it worth a substantial amount of money. If you've got one tucked away, or if you spot one in your collection, be sure to check its condition, mint mark, and any unique features. It might just be worth a lot more than you thought. Today, we have something truly exciting for you: the 2007 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime coin. While it may seem like just another dime, this coin has a story, a rich history, and, most importantly, some serious value potential that's sure to get your attention. Stick with us until the end to find out just how much this little dime could be worth today. The Roosevelt Dime series has been a cornerstone of U.S. currency since 1946, created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt following his death. He was the 32nd president and a beloved figure who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. The Roosevelt dime was designed by artist John R. Sinek, who captured Roosevelt's likeness in a way that continues to grace the coin to this day. The coin has seen many iterations, but today, we're looking at the 2007 version, a relatively modern coin with some surprising value. Now, let's get into the real reason you're here. Why is this 2007 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime so valuable? You may be thinking, it's just a dime, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong. It is, indeed, a dime, worth 10 cents on its face. But, like many other coins, its true worth comes from factors beyond just the denomination. The 2007 Roosevelt silver dime is made of 90% silver, which automatically gives it a higher value than your typical copper-nickel dimes that were introduced after 1965. Silver has always been a prized metal, and when you have a coin made from it, you're looking at something that could hold value beyond its initial design. But let's talk about something that really drives up the value of this coin: its condition. If you've been collecting for a while, you'll know that the condition of a coin is crucial in determining its value. While many of the 2007 dimes were used in everyday transactions, some were carefully stored and kept in uncirculated condition. These pristine examples are far rarer than the worn ones you'll find in most pockets. And as you may have guessed, coins in mint condition are highly sought after by collectors and investors alike. So, if you have a 2007 Roosevelt silver dime in excellent, uncirculated shape, you're sitting on something valuable. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. If you're familiar with coin collecting, you'll know that the mint mark can reveal a lot about a coin's origin. For the 2007 Roosevelt dime, there are 3 possibilities: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. While all these coins are valuable, certain mint marks can influence a coin's desirability. For example, some mints produce fewer coins than others, which makes the ones from those mints more sought after. So, if you happen to have a 2007 Roosevelt dime with a less common mint mark, it could make it even more valuable. But even beyond the mint mark, the condition of the coin and any unique features are key to determining its true worth. Speaking of unique features, sometimes coins can have minting errors or slight design variations that make them stand out from the rest. These rare, error coins are the ones collectors dream about because they're one-of-a-kind pieces. If your 2007 Roosevelt silver dime has any minor mistakes, such as double strikes, misaligned dies, or any other anomalies, it could significantly increase its value. These types of errors make the coin even rarer, and that rarity is exactly what drives collectors crazy. So, let's get to the exciting part. How much could this 2007 Roosevelt silver 1 dime actually be worth? Believe it or not, an uncirculated 2007 Roosevelt silver dime can be worth as much as $50,000. Yes, you heard that right, $50,000 for a single dime. That's a massive jump from the coin's face value of just 10 cents, and it's all because of its silver content, condition, rarity, and potential for unique features. If you've got one of these dimes in mint condition, or one with a rare mint mark or error, your little dime could become a treasure trove. Now, I know it may seem unbelievable that a coin like this could fetch such a high price, but the world of coin collecting is full of surprises like this. While the 2007 Roosevelt silver dime may have been mass-produced, the truth is that well-preserved examples in excellent condition are becoming rarer and rarer. As collectors continue to search for rare finds, coins like this one will continue to gain value. And with silver prices constantly fluctuating, the potential for this coin to appreciate in value is very real. So, what's the takeaway here? If you've got a 2007 Roosevelt silver 1 dime in your collection, or if you happen to find one in circulation, it's worth taking a close look at its condition, mint mark, and any potential errors. If you're lucky enough to have a well-preserved example, it could be worth far more than you ever expected. That wraps up today's video on the 2007 Roosevelt silver 1 dime. I hope you found this information helpful, and that you're now keeping an eye out for this valuable little coin. Today, we've got something very special in store for you, a coin that you might have lying around in your collection right now. It's the 2005 Roosevelt silver 1 dime coin. At first glance, this might look like just another dime, but as we dive deeper into its history, its unique characteristics, and its potential value, you'll soon see why this coin is worth much more than you might think. Stick with us until the end, because you'll be amazed to find out just how much a single dime from 2005 could be worth. The Roosevelt dime has been a key part of U.S. currency since 1946. It was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who led the country through some of its most challenging times. After his death in 1945, the U.S. government decided to issue a coin in his honor, designed by John R. Sinnock. Roosevelt's likeness has graced the front of the dime ever since, making it one of the most recognized coins in American history. Now, let's zoom in on the 2005 version of this iconic dime. At first, you might think it's just another modern coin, but there's more to this dime than meets the eye. One of the most important factors that give this coin its value is its silver content. Unlike the copper-nickel dimes minted after 1965, the 2005 Roosevelt silver dime is made of 90% silver. That means it has intrinsic value due to the precious metal content, which is already a huge step up from a regular dime, but the value doesn't stop there. The condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining how much it's worth. As you know, many of these coins were used in everyday transactions, so most of them have been worn down over time. A typical 2005 Roosevelt silver dime you might find could have scratches, discoloration, and other signs of wear and tear. However, uncirculated coins, those that were carefully stored and have remained in pristine condition, are much rarer. And, as you can imagine, rare coins in excellent condition are worth a lot more to collectors. Now, let's talk about something else that can affect the value of this coin, the mint mark. Every U.S. coin carries a mint mark that indicates where it was produced. For the 2005 Roosevelt dime, you'll find a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, and a P for Philadelphia. Each mint produced a different number of coins, and while most dimes from 2005 are relatively common, coins from certain mints or those with lower production numbers can be more valuable. So if you happen to have a 2005 Roosevelt dime with a rare mint mark, it could make your coin even more desirable to collectors, but it doesn't end there. In the world of coin collecting, minting errors are a big deal. Errors are often the result of problems in the production process, and they can make a coin even more unique and valuable. For example, a 2005 Roosevelt dime with a misaligned die or a double strike could be worth significantly more than a standard dime. Collectors are always on the lookout for these one-of-a-kind error coins, and if you happen to find one, you could have a real treasure on your hands. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, the value of the 2005 Roosevelt silver 1 dime. At first, you might think that a coin from 2005 would only be worth a couple of bucks, especially if it's been circulated. But here's the kicker, an uncirculated 2005 Roosevelt silver dime in excellent condition can be worth as much as $53,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $53,000 for a single dime. When you consider the silver content, the condition of the coin, and its rarity, you can begin to see how a dime like this could fetch such a high price. That's the power of coin collecting, where even a small, seemingly insignificant coin can become a valuable piece of history. So, how can you tell if your 2005 Roosevelt silver dime is worth this kind of money? First, examine its condition. If it's uncirculated, it's already in the running for a higher value. Second, check the mint mark. If it's from a rarer mint or has a lower mintage, that could also increase its worth. And finally, keep an eye out for any potential minting errors. A dime with a rare mistake can increase its value exponentially, and you could have an error coin that collectors would pay top dollar for. If you happen to come across a 2005 Roosevelt silver dime, take a moment to inspect it carefully. What might look like just another dime could be a valuable asset. And if you have one of these dimes tucked away in your collection, now is the perfect time to take a closer look and see if you're holding on to a small fortune. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 2005 Roosevelt silver 1 dime is a prime example of how a relatively modern coin can be worth far more than its face value. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner just getting started, coins like these serve as a reminder of how much value is hidden in the world of numismatics. Today's video is something you won't want to miss. We're diving into the world of the 2014 Roosevelt silver 1 dime, and you might just be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. While this coin might seem like just another dime, there's more to it than meets the eye. Stick with us as we break down what makes the 2014 Roosevelt silver 1 dime so special, and stay tuned until the end to discover just how much this little coin could be worth. The Roosevelt dime series is a well-known staple of U.S. currency, having first been introduced in 1946 to honor the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. As the 32nd president, Roosevelt led the nation through some of its most challenging times, including the Great Depression and World War II. After his passing, the U.S. Mint decided to issue a coin in his honor. The design, crafted by John R. Sinek, features Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse, and the reverse shows a combination of a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. This design has remained largely unchanged for decades, making the Roosevelt dime one of the most recognizable coins in the world. Now, let's zoom in on the 2014 edition of this iconic dime. You might be thinking, what makes this one different from the others? Well, there are a few factors that give the 2014 Roosevelt silver dime its unique value. First and foremost, it's made from 90% silver, just like the dimes before 1965. Silver has always been highly prized, and the precious metal content alone gives this coin more intrinsic value than your typical copper-nickel dimes that were minted post-1965. The fact that this coin contains silver already gives it a leg up in terms of worth, especially as silver prices fluctuate and rise over time. But there's more to the story. The value of a coin doesn't just come from its metal content, it's also about its condition. Many of the 2014 Roosevelt silver dimes were circulated in everyday transactions, meaning they've likely been subjected to some wear and tear. However, those that remain in pristine, uncirculated condition are far rarer. These well-preserved examples are highly coveted by collectors because they're in original form, free from scratches, discoloration, and other signs of damage. If you happen to have a 2014 Roosevelt silver dime in mint condition, you're looking at a coin with some serious collector's appeal. another important aspect that can influence the value of this coin is the mint mark. For those of you who are seasoned coin collectors, you'll know that the mint mark indicates where a coin was produced. For the 2014 Roosevelt dime, the mint marks you might encounter are P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. While the coin's value is certainly affected by its overall condition, the mint mark can also play a role. Coins with rarer mint marks or those produced in lower numbers can carry a premium in the market. So, if you happen to have a 2014 Roosevelt dime with a less common mint mark, it could make your coin even more desirable to collectors. Speaking of rarity, some coins have unique features that can increase their value exponentially. This can include minting errors, slight design variations, or other anomalies that happen during the production process. These types of errors can make a coin truly one of a kind, and that rarity is exactly what collectors are looking for. If you find a 2014 Roosevelt silver dime with a minting error, whether it's a double die, off-center strike, or other variations, you may have a coin that is worth far more than you imagine. So, how much could a 2014 Roosevelt silver dime be worth? While this coin was produced in large numbers, the ones in exceptional condition, particularly those that are uncirculated or have unique minting errors, can fetch an impressive price. If you have a 2014 Roosevelt silver dime in top condition or with a rare mint mark or error, your coin could be worth $55,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $55,000 for a single dime. It may seem unbelievable for such a small coin, but that's the magic of the coin collecting world. Even coins from relatively recent years, like the 2014 Roosevelt dime, can become incredibly valuable when they're in the right condition and have the right characteristics. The key takeaway here is that the value of the 2014 Roosevelt silver one dime comes down to a few critical factors: its silver content, its condition, its mint mark, and any unique features or errors. If you've been holding on to one of these dimes, it's worth taking a closer look to see if it could be the rare treasure you've been waiting for. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone just getting started, coins like the 2014 Roosevelt silver dime are a reminder that sometimes the most valuable treasures come in small, everyday packages. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1991 Roosevelt silver one dime. It might seem like just another dime, but don't let its modest appearance fool you. This coin is much more valuable than you might think. Stay with us as we explore the history, the design, and most importantly, the worth of the 1991 Roosevelt silver one dime, because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at how much this coin could be worth in today's market. Let's start by taking a closer look at the iconic Roosevelt dime series. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away the year before. Roosevelt was an important figure in American history, known for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. In fact, he was the longest-serving U.S. president, serving 4 terms. To commemorate his legacy, the U.S. Mint created the Roosevelt dime, which has featured his portrait on the obverse, front, side of the coin ever since. The reverse of the coin depicts a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. But what makes the 1991 Roosevelt silver dime so special? Well, it all starts with the coin's composition. Unlike the copper-nickel dimes that were minted after 1965, the 1991 Roosevelt dime is made of 90% silver. As many collectors know, silver is a precious metal with inherent value, and any coin made of silver automatically carries more worth than one made of other metals. The silver content of this coin alone gives it a base value above its 10-cent face value. Over time, as the price of silver fluctuates, the value of this dime can rise and fall, but the intrinsic value is always there. However, silver content isn't the only factor that makes the 1991 Roosevelt silver dime worth money. The condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Just like with any other coin, those that have been well preserved, uncirculated, or in mint condition are far more valuable than those that have been worn down by years of circulation. Many 1991 dimes were used in everyday transactions, so they likely show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, or even small dents. But the true gems are the ones that were carefully stored and have remained in excellent condition. A coin in uncirculated or near-perfect condition is a rare find, and collectors are always on the lookout for such examples. Another important factor to consider is the mint mark. For those of you who are familiar with coin collecting, you know that mint marks are essential in identifying where a coin was produced. For the 1991 Roosevelt silver dime, there are 3 possible mint marks: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. While all these coins are valuable, the mint mark can sometimes influence the desirability of the coin. If a coin was minted in lower numbers at a particular mint, it could be more valuable than others. In the case of the 1991 Roosevelt silver dime, the S mint mark is the rarest, as it represents the San Francisco Mint, and coins minted there are sometimes considered more desirable by collectors. Now, let's talk about something really exciting: the potential for minting errors. Coin errors are one of the most exciting things that a collector can find. A minting error can happen for a variety of reasons, such as misalignments, double strikes, or other small mistakes that occurred during the production process. These errors make a coin unique and one of a kind, which is why they're often worth significantly more than a standard, error-free coin. If you happen to find a 1991 Roosevelt silver dime with a rare error, such as a double die or off-center strike, you could have a real treasure on your hands. So, just how much can a 1991 Roosevelt silver 1 dime be worth? Well, a typical 1991 Roosevelt silver dime that's been circulated in everyday transactions will likely be worth a bit more than face value due to the silver content. However, if you have a 1991 Roosevelt silver dime that's in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth quite a bit more. But here's where things get truly exciting: a 1991 Roosevelt silver dime in perfect condition, with a rare mint mark or a minting error, can be worth as much as $57,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $57,000 for a single dime. You might be thinking, how is that even possible? But it's true. The combination of silver content, exceptional condition, and rarity can make coins like the 1991 Roosevelt silver dime incredibly valuable. Whether it's a low mintage coin from a specific mint or one with an error, these factors all contribute to its worth. And as the world of coin collecting continues to grow, more and more collectors are seeking out rare coins to add to their collections. If you happen to come across a well-preserved 1991 Roosevelt silver dime, it could be the perfect time to get it appraised or even put it up for sale. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1991 Roosevelt silver 1 dime is a great example of how a seemingly simple coin can hold immense value. If you've got one of these dimes lying around in your collection or come across one while coin hunting, be sure to give it a closer look. You might be holding onto a piece of history that's worth far more than you think. Today's video is for you. We're diving deep into a very special coin today, the 1979 Roosevelt silver 1 dime. At first glance, it may seem like just another dime, but stick with us, because this coin could actually be worth a lot more than you might think. We'll be exploring the history, unique features, and factors that determine its value, so get ready to be amazed. The Roosevelt dime has been a cornerstone of U.S. currency since it was first introduced in 1946 to honor the life and legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. FDR, who passed away in 1945, led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II, and was elected to an unprecedented 4 terms in office. The dime was created to commemorate his leadership, with John R. Sinek's design featuring Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse side. On the reverse, you'll find a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Since its introduction, this design has remained largely unchanged, making the Roosevelt dime one of the most recognizable and iconic coins in American history. Now, let's focus on the 1979 edition of this beloved coin. If you're familiar with the Roosevelt dime series, you know that the coin has gone through some changes in its composition over the years. The 1979 Roosevelt dime is made of 90% silver, which immediately sets it apart from the copper-nickel dimes that were minted after 1965. Silver has always been a precious metal, and coins made from it automatically carry more intrinsic value. For coin collectors, the silver content of this dime is one of the key factors that contribute to its overall worth. Even if the 1979 dime is worn and circulated, the silver inside it has inherent value based on the current market price of silver, but here's where things get even more interesting. The condition of the coin plays a major role in determining its market value. Like most coins, the 1979 Roosevelt dime was widely circulated and used in everyday transactions, so many of them show signs of wear. If your dime has scratches, discoloration, or any other signs of heavy circulation, it may not be worth as much as one in pristine condition. But if you're lucky enough to have a 1979 Roosevelt dime that has been kept in excellent, uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on a hidden gem. Coins that are well preserved, with little to no signs of wear, are far more valuable to collectors because they are considered rarer and more desirable. Another important aspect to consider when evaluating the 1979 Roosevelt dime is the mint mark. Mint marks indicate where a coin was produced, and for this particular year, there are three possibilities: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. As with any coin, the mintage numbers can vary depending on the mint, and some mint marks are more desirable than others. For example, coins produced in lower numbers or by certain mints may command higher prices. If you have a 1979 Roosevelt dime with an S mint mark, which signifies that it was produced in San Francisco, it could be more sought after by collectors, adding to its value. But wait, there's even more to the story. In the world of coin collecting, mint errors can significantly boost a coin's worth. A mint error occurs when something goes wrong during the production process, leading to a coin that is different from the standard issue. Whether it's a double strike, a misaligned die, or some other variation, error coins are often seen as rare and valuable. If you happen to find a 1979 Roosevelt dime with a minting error, such as a double die or an off-center strike, you may have a coin that is worth much more than you think. Now, let's get to the heart of the matter: the value of the 1979 Roosevelt silver 1 dime. While most 1979 dimes are worth only their silver content, the real value comes from coins that are in top-notch condition or those with unique characteristics, such as rare mint marks or mint errors. If you have a 1979 Roosevelt silver dime that is in uncirculated condition or features a rare minting error, you could be looking at a coin worth as much as $58,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $58,000 for a single dime. Now, I know that might sound unbelievable, but in the world of coin collecting, that's the kind of value that rare and well-preserved coins can fetch. A coin's value is determined by a combination of factors: its silver content, its condition, its mint mark, and any rare minting errors. And for the 1979 Roosevelt silver dime, all of these factors can come together to create a coin that is highly sought after by collectors around the world. So, how do you know if your 1979 Roosevelt dime is worth this kind of money? First, take a close look at the coin's condition. Is it in uncirculated, pristine condition? If so, you're already off to a good start. Next, check the mint mark. If it's from a mint with lower production numbers or a rarer mint, that could increase its value. Finally, see if there are any minting errors present. If your dime has a unique feature that sets it apart from others, that could make it even more valuable. If you happen to come across a 1979 Roosevelt silver dime or already have one in your collection, take the time to carefully inspect it. What you might think is just a simple dime could actually be worth a fortune. Coin collecting is full of surprises, and the 1979 Roosevelt dime is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can be a treasure in disguise. Today, we're diving into something that could turn your collection into a gold mine, well, silver mine, actually. We're talking about the 1999 Roosevelt silver 1 dime. You might think, it's just a dime, right? But trust me, this coin has more potential than you might think. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at how much this small coin could actually be worth. First, let's take a quick look at the history behind the Roosevelt dime. Introduced in 1946, the Roosevelt dime was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the year before. Roosevelt was a pivotal figure in American history, leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II. His impact on the nation was so profound that, to honor his legacy, the U.S. Mint decided to feature his portrait on the dime. John R. Sinnock designed the coin, and its reverse side displays a torch, olive branch, and oak branch, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. This design has largely remained unchanged over the years, making the Roosevelt dime one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. Now, let's focus on the 1999 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime. At first glance, it might appear to be just another dime from the late 20th century, but when you take a deeper look, you'll see that there's a lot more to this coin. First and foremost, the 1999 dime is made of 90% silver, which immediately gives it more value than the copper-nickel dimes minted after 1965. The silver content is essential because silver is a precious metal, and even if the coin is circulated and shows signs of wear, the silver it contains has inherent value. So, the silver alone gives this coin a much higher base value compared to its face value of 10 cents. However, the real value in this coin comes from its rarity and condition. Like many coins, the 1999 Roosevelt silver dime was used in everyday transactions, so most of them have been subjected to wear and tear. But here's the catch: finding one in uncirculated, pristine condition is quite rare. If you happen to have a 1999 Roosevelt silver dime that's in perfect, untouched condition, you're holding onto something special. Coins that are well preserved are far more valuable because collectors prize them for their quality and rarity. The more wear a coin has, the less it's worth, so the key to finding the real value in your 1999 Roosevelt dime is looking for one in excellent condition. Another factor to consider is the mint mark. The mint mark tells you where the coin was struck, and for the 1999 Roosevelt dime, there are three possibilities: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Each mint produces different quantities of coins, and some mints are more desirable to collectors than others. For example, the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S, is often seen as more valuable due to the lower number of coins struck there. If you find a 1999 Roosevelt dime with a S mint mark, you could be looking at a more sought-after piece. While the mint mark itself doesn't guarantee that the coin will be worth a fortune, it's definitely something collectors pay attention to when evaluating its value. But here's where things get really exciting: minting errors. Mint errors happen when there's a mistake during the production process, resulting in a coin that is different from the typical issue. These errors can vary from double strikes to misaligned dies, and even the smallest error can make a coin significantly more valuable. Error coins are highly prized by collectors because they are unique, often one-of-a-kind pieces. So if you happen to find a 1999 Roosevelt silver dime with a minting error, you could be holding onto a coin that could skyrocket in value. So, how much is the 1999 Roosevelt silver dime really worth? Most of these coins are worth their silver content, which fluctuates with the market price of silver. However, coins that are in excellent, uncirculated condition, or those with rare mint marks or minting errors, can fetch significantly more. If you have a 1999 Roosevelt silver dime in pristine condition, especially with a rare mint mark or unique error, you might be looking at a coin worth as much as $60,000. Yes, that's $60,000 for a single dime. Now, I know that may sound unbelievable, but the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. Coins from recent years, especially those with rare characteristics, can sometimes be worth more than coins from much earlier in history. A small mistake in the minting process, a rare mint mark, or simply finding one in perfect condition can make all the difference in the world. The fact that this dime contains silver also gives it an edge in value, as precious metals like silver tend to retain their worth over time. If you've been holding onto a 1999 Roosevelt silver 1 dime or happen to come across one in your coin hunts, it's definitely worth checking its condition. What might seem like just another dime could actually be a rare collector's item, potentially worth tens of thousands of dollars. If you're new to coin collecting, this is a perfect reminder that even relatively recent coins can hold enormous value, and the thrill of finding one in mint condition or with a rare error can be incredibly rewarding. Today, we're about to dive into one of the most fascinating and potentially lucrative coins out there, the 2004 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime. While this coin may seem like just another dime at first glance, trust me, its value is far greater than you might imagine. By the end of this video, you'll see why this small coin could be worth far more than its face value. Before we jump into the specifics of the 2004 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime, let's take a quick look at the history of the Roosevelt dime itself. First minted in 1946, the Roosevelt dime was introduced to honor the legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who passed away in 1945. Roosevelt was a monumental figure in U.S. history, known for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II. In fact, Roosevelt was the only U.S. president to serve 4 terms, and his impact on the nation's economic and political landscape was profound. To commemorate his life, the U.S. Mint began issuing the Roosevelt dime, designed by artist John R. Sinek. The dime features Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse side, with a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. These symbols represent liberty, peace, and strength, values that Roosevelt himself held dear. The design has remained largely unchanged throughout the years, making the Roosevelt dime one of the most enduring and recognizable coins in American currency. Now, let's zoom in on the 2004 edition of the Roosevelt Silver 1 dime. Unlike modern dimes, which are composed mostly of copper, the 2004 Roosevelt dime is made of 90% silver and 10% copper. This composition makes it far more valuable than the typical post-1965 dime, which is primarily copper and nickel. Silver has always been a precious metal, and even though this coin was produced in mass quantities, the silver content gives it an inherent value beyond its face value of just 10 cents. But here's the kicker: what really makes the 2004 Roosevelt Silver 1 dime stand out is its condition. As with any coin, the state of preservation plays a crucial role in determining its worth. Coins that were used in everyday circulation often show wear, scratches, and discoloration, which can reduce their value. However, if you happen to have a 2004 Roosevelt silver dime in pristine, uncirculated condition, you've got a gem on your hands. Coins in excellent condition are highly prized by collectors, and those that are well preserved can command much higher prices on the market. So, if you've been holding on to one of these coins and it's in mint condition, you could be sitting on a valuable piece of history. Another important factor to consider is the mint mark. As you may already know, mint marks tell us where the coin was struck. For the 2004 Roosevelt dime, there are 3 mint marks you could find: P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. Each mint produces different quantities of coins, and in some cases, certain mint marks are more desirable to collectors. For example, coins with the S mint mark, indicating they were struck in San Francisco, are often viewed as more valuable due to the lower number of coins produced at that mint. If your 2004 Roosevelt silver dime has an S mint mark, you've got an even rarer coin that could be worth more than one with the more common P or D mint marks. But it doesn't stop there. Error coins are another huge factor in determining the value of a coin. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin production process, resulting in a coin that is different from the standard issue. These errors can include things like misalignments, double strikes, or even incorrect dies being used. Error coins are prized by collectors because they are unique and hard to come by. If your 2004 Roosevelt silver dime has any kind of minting error, such as a double die or off-center strike, it could dramatically increase its value. Now, you're probably wondering, how much can a 2004 Roosevelt silver 1 dime actually be worth? If your coin is in excellent, uncirculated condition, or if it has a rare mint mark or minting error, you could be looking at a much higher value than just the silver content. And here's the exciting part: if you have a well-preserved 2004 Roosevelt silver 1 dime with a rare mint mark or error, it could be worth $63,000. Yes, that's $63,000 for a single dime. This may sound like an unbelievable amount of money for a coin that's typically worth just 10 cents, but in the world of coin collecting, this is the reality. Rare and well-preserved coins with unique features can fetch massive amounts at auction or through private sales. The 2004 Roosevelt silver 1 dime is a perfect example of how a small, everyday coin can hold immense value if the right factors are in place. So, how do you know if your 2004 Roosevelt silver dime is worth this much? First, take a close look at the condition. Is it free from scratches, discoloration, or any signs of wear? If so, it could already be worth more than you think. Next, check the mint mark. If it's from a rare mint or has a lower mintage, it could also increase the value. Finally, inspect the coin for any minting errors. If your dime has a unique characteristic that sets it apart from the others, it could be a real treasure. As you can see, the 2004 Roosevelt silver 1 dime is far more than just a regular coin. If you happen to have one in your collection, or you find one in your change, be sure to examine it closely. It could be the key to unlocking a hidden fortune. Thank you for joining us today and learning more about the 2004 Roosevelt silver 1 dime. If you found this video helpful and want to keep up with more exciting coin discoveries, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You never know what treasures you might find in your collection, so always stay on the lookout for rare gems. Until next time, happy collecting.